This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Cyclone warning in southern region coast. Telecom and SkyTel launch low Earth orbit internet solutions. And World Kidney Day commemorated. A very good evening. This is National EMTV News. I'm Grace Papiali. Thank you for joining us. The National Weather Services Director, Jimmy Gomoga, has warned of the possibility of a cyclone along the country's southern coast after most of the southern coast, including the nation's capital, experienced heavy rainfall within the past couple of days.
Gomoga says the current heavy rainfall experienced is a result of a low-pressure system in the Coral Sea, which has caused heavy rainfall in most parts of the southern region. But it is expected to go down, hence reduces the possibility of a tropical cyclone. However, Mr. Gomoga warns of a new system that is currently approaching the southern coast from the eastern Indian Ocean.
But there's a system that is actually in the eastern Indian Ocean, just at the tip of Darwin, and it will be moving into the Gulf of Carpentaria. This will affect the increase the winds right over the western province and Gulf. So over the next 24 hours, the winds should be the western part of the country, especially over western and Gulf. You should be experiencing the winds, gale wind warnings to be coming through.
Given this, he says people along the western province and Gulf should take precaution when going out to sea.
Especially along from western province, the Indonesian border right up to the Melinda area. The people should be staying away from the coastlines or should refrain from going out to sea because we have a gale wind warning already issued by the National Weather Service. For those coastlines from the Indonesian border right up to Melinda Islands, eastern Melinda Islands.
Gomoga further says PNG is currently transitioning from wet to dry season, hence more rainfall should be expected within this period.
We are actually going towards the end of the wet season. Around especially March, we usually expect a peak in the rainfall. And this is actually happening right now. But come April, May, then the transitional period, then we should be looking at the seasonal change to take place and the southeast trade winds to come in or the easterlies to actually kick in by April, May. So that is our onset of our dry season.
Edson Kuso, National EMTV News.
PNGSA country, known to have hot, humid tropical climate, is now in its wet season, projected to take place from the months of December to March. Various parts of the country are experiencing the brunt of the wet weather as it continues to rain and flood.
Morobe has seen roads flooded with water and even the collapse of Busu Bridge in Bowana washed out again by heavy flood. Meanwhile, the Dumpu Bridge along the Usino-Bundi section of the Medeng-Leh Highway has collapsed last night after heavy rain over the past couple of days, leaving vehicles and passengers traveling between Medeng and Leh and the highlands stranded. This is the second time the bridge has collapsed after being rebuilt just 2 years ago. East New Britain has also noted landslide occurrences following the pouring of the weather. Seen here is the clearing in progress of the Rabaul-Kokopo Highway at Blue Lagoon after a landslide. Western Province also reports similar experiences. Seen here, PMV buses queuing to cross the road along Kiunga-Tabubil Highway in the North Fly district due to flood. As revealed by the Assistant Director for PNG Weather Services, heading the Forecast and Warning Center, Benjamin Malai, in an exclusive interview with this newsroom earlier this year. The delay in wet weather period from Christmas of last year mean a prolong on the wet season, which is projected to end this month. The general public is advised to keep warm and take extra precaution when traveling during this weather. Natasha Voy, National, MTV News.
The member for Abo District and Shadow Minister responsible of Bougainville Affairs, Puka Temu, responded to the Minister for Bougainville Affairs, Manasseh Makiba, rebuttals to his recent statements regarding Bougainville political affairs. Puka made his statement at a press conference held in Port Moresby yesterday.
Puka, in responding to Mr. Makiba's accusation of him politicizing the current Bougainville issue, said the Bougainville political future is a political issue, hence a concern to citizens and members of parliament. Puka said his concerns aligns with the member for North Bougainville, Francisca Semoso.
And that is, she was concerned that some of the agreements that they made in 2023, the Wabek one and the Arakone one, were not complied with. And the year ended with no real apology and no real explanation from the minister himself or the prime minister. And therefore, I actually call for the minister and the prime minister to clarify on what is the government position on the previous commitments that they had made. And in the January sitting, nothing happened, the first sitting of Parliament. Now we were adjourned to close to the middle of the year, May 28. And so when the Prime Minister assured the country that so far as he was concerned and being the Prime Minister elect after the election and also in 2029, that Bougainville was his #1 priority, then he basically is not compliant with that commitment that he made.
Puka stressed that the government must deliver on their commitments made in the process of a joint supervisory body. He pointed out that the Attorney General of Bougainville, Ezekiel Massat, and the Minister for Bougainville Affairs have not reached an agreement on the sessional order.
And that issue of whether it's two-third absolute majority, which the government is the positioning, and the simple majority, which the ABG government is positioning, they have taken too long to come to an agreement. I believe that's a very simple issue. And my position is the clerk and the speaker have to advise the government as to what is the actual legal requirements. For example, we have ratified many laws internationally to be ratified in Parliament. We know the process of ratification. And my understanding is that the United Nations helped us to develop and agree to a ratification process of the referendum between the two governments. And the delays, I don't accept as the shadow minister.
Puka appealed to both Minister Makiba and Prime Minister James Marape to reach an agreement in the upcoming JSB in Bougainville this month to prepare the country for the parliament sitting in May. He added that with Bougainville moving towards independence, the government must address its political affairs. Malinta Yopolo, National MTV News.
Papua New Guinea has become the 178th state to ratify the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. The official ratification was marked with a treaty ceremony at the United Nations headquarters in New York. Papua New Guinea's ratification also marks a significant milestone towards universalizing the treaty in the Pacific region. As a state party to both the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons and the Treaty of Rarotonga, Papua New Guinea has committed to fulfilling the core obligation of the CTBT by refraining from conducting any nuclear explosions. The Ombudsman Commission of PNG hosted a leadership code training program today in Port Moresby to induct all the current chief executive officers of district development authorities and heads of the secretariats of DDAs on their roles and responsibilities under the Leadership Code of the Organic Law on Duties and Responsibilities of Leadership.
The Leadership Code training for Chief Executive Officers of District Development Authorities held today aims to empower leaders with the information necessary for making sound decisions in response to the needs and aspirations of the people in their respective districts. It was highlighted that the purpose of the Leadership Code training program is to provide awareness and enhance the understanding of the CEOs and heads of the secretariats of all DDA on their roles and responsibilities as leaders. The Chief of Ombudsman, Richard Pagian, further elaborated on the workshop today.
And if there is any wrongdoing or misconduct while them performing their job while holding the position of district administrator or district CEO, then the Ombudsman Commission will commence investigation into their conducts. And at the same time, we are doing this so that these people who are leaders with their merits to perform the job as a district administrator or district CEO. Their offices are independent to do that job.
The first training was conducted in Goroka last week, where all the district administrators from the Highlands region, including DAs from Medang and Morobe, attended. Other CEOs of DDAs throughout the country attended today's training in Port Moresby. Louis Maingu, National EMTV News.
Telecom Limited has launched the new OneWeb product in partnership with SkyTel. This is the low Earth orbit constellation of satellite that provides high-speed internet connection. The launching was officiated at Telecom Romana in Port Moresby today. Telecom's new OneWeb partnership with SkyTel now provides the reliability of internet coverage out of remote location internet access in Papua New Guinea. Present at the launch was Chairman of Telecom Limited, Cedric Rondoke, Managing Director of Kumul Consolidated Holdings, Professor David Kavanamur, representing State Enterprises Minister William Duma is Moses Maladina, Telecom Limited CEO Amos Tepi, and SkyTel CEO Michael Kratt. Chairman of Telecom Limited, Cedric Rondoke, stated that this initiative is one of the key agendas of Telecom Limited, that is to connect the rural population of the country through high-speed internet coverage.
And here we are today. We are going to launch this, and it will be a game changer for people in our remote areas, especially our SMEs, especially people who move around, people who are unable to communicate from their locations.
The Papua New Guinean-owned telecommunications company CEO Amos Tepi gave his remarks highlighting the essence of the partnership.
As you know, this product is easy to connect, it's fast, simple, and it's flexible and secure as well. And it can be mounted on the vehicle. It can be also installed on the wall side of the building.
SkyTel's regional network spans Australia, New Zealand, and the South Pacific, and its network spans globally. CEO of SkyTel, Michael Kratt, stated that this product contains key elements that reduce technicalities.
With VSAT systems, we're in geostationary orbit, and that orbit is about 33,000 kilometres away from the Earth. So that's a long way. And so as a result, the speeds were slow, the latency was high, and that meant that it wasn't suitable for every application that a modern digital economy runs on. Low Earth orbit satellite communications means that we can now offer fibre-like speeds, so high capacity and low latency. And that means applications that previously couldn't be run can now be supported.
The launching of the product formalities took place with the revealing of the product that is attached on the vehicle.
We are going to be using satellites, both in geostationary orbit and in low Earth orbit, like the product we're launching today, to connect those businesses, to connect those communities out in those provinces and villages that have, typically have had to either have no telecommunication service or they've had to have a subpar service grade compared with people in the cities.
Mr. Tepi stated that they remain committed in supporting telecoms endeavors to provide top-notch telecommunications solutions for the people of Papua New Guinea.
I'm happy that we've launched this product. It's one of those products that we need to get it ready for any other emerging technologies. As you know, people will be coming in the market. We need to be up front and we need to be on front so that when we are doing things, it's not a surprise for Papua New Guinea people.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. Foreign Affairs Minister Justin Chachko recently revealed that the Foreign Policy White Paper is set for May as the target for tabling in Parliament. The Foreign Policy White Paper is intended to reflect Papua New Guinea's sovereignty and will form the basis of and guide how the government will conduct its regional and international engagements into the future. Minister responsible of Foreign Affairs Justin Chachko stressed that the Foreign Policy White Paper is one of the key priorities of the Marape Rosso government. Minister Chachko assured the Eminent Persons Group, or EPG, that the interim report will go through a detailed review at his office in close consultation with the Office of the Secretary for recommendations input. The EPG are tasked with the responsibility to review and draft the PNG's Foreign Policy White Paper and have set by April. The EPG consists of senior state persons, public servants and former diplomats like Sir Charles Lepani, Dr. Clement Waine, Dame Jean Kekedo, Dame Meg Taylor, Mr. Robert Igara, amongst others. A formal update and advice will be presented to Prime Minister James Marape on the progress. The Provincial Authority of West Sepik Province has revealed that they have differing views on the implementation of the EU's trade program. The West Sepik Provincial Administrator, Conrad Tilau, revealed this recently in Vanimo.
The provincial administrator said a common understanding was not reached at the inception of the trade program between them and the project coordinators.
Well, we have not come to a consensus on the kind of components but you must focus on work long. It's like they're giving us a program and telling us this is what we are going to do. We have had a lot of consolidated meetings, but some of the thinking from Mibla is not been taken on board.
Mr. Tilau said the provincial authority is unaware of the number of projects implemented under the EU's trade program in the province. He said the information must be provided before the program ends. The PA further highlighted their view of the cash crop value chain.
Our view is simple. We want to see that the farmer produces the cocoa and it ends up here or elsewhere where the market is. The farmer actually grows the cocoa. That cocoa must actually reach the marketing point. That is our version of the value chain.
The program coordinator of EU's trade PNG, Ali Said Yusuf, said the development needs of both East and West Sepik province are enormous. However, the services delivered are within the scope of the program. He pointed out that before the implementation of programs, it must be approved by the steering and technical committee of the government.
We will engage. That is the thing. We are supporting them deliver their mandates. We don't have any agenda as program. Our agenda is supporting the provincial departments, the nationals, deliver their mandates of development. We will do our best.
However, the coordinators said they are willing to engage with the government.
As you know, programs are bound by budget and bound by time. Every year, every element, every component of our program, we would develop a work plan every year, annual work plan, budget, and that is approved by what we call steering committee. You know who the steering committees are? The same government people. They are the ones who review. Actually, we have two layers, technical committee and the steering committee. The technical committee are all division heads, every relevant division. The steering committee are higher level, provincial administrators and national departments, national level. So we work based on the approved work plan and budget.
Malinta Yopolo, National EMTV News.
Noah Taugaloidi of Wamira Village, Milne Bay Province, has been recognized by TRAI Industries for his outstanding contributions to rice farming. He received the Village Sustainability Kit, which includes essential tools and support for sustainable agriculture.
TRAI's Smallholder Rice Development Program aims to empower farmers like Taugaloidi to transition from subsistence to commercial rice farming. Through initiatives like the Smart Farmer Program, TRAI provides training and resources to enhance local farming practices. Chief Executive Officer Alan Preston emphasized the program's role in promoting food security and empowering smallholder rice farmers. Taugaloidi expressed gratitude for the support and highlighted the positive impact on his community. TRAI Industries' commitment to improving rice cultivation standards in Papua New Guinea spans over 30 years, demonstrating its dedication to sustainable agriculture and community development. James Cooken, National EMTV News.
Minister for International Trade and Investment has given an update on the Special Economic Zone projects in the country. Also, the PNG Special Economic Zone Foundation policy is finalized. The minister responsible of the special economic zones in the country, Minister Maru, gave a brief on the finalized SEZ policy.
Following the AZ summit, the Ministry and Department of International Trade and Investment started work on formulating the new AZ policy and master plan. I'm happy to inform this country that the policy is now in its final stages. The final draft will be discussed in a workshop in Kokopo on the 1st of April, where we will be going to present the final draft to stakeholders and hopefully also get the AZ authority to go and do a presentation on all the provinces and districts who may want to apply for a license under an economic zone. So they'll go through the license application process, answer all the questions, so that others who wish to apply can apply.
After the National Executive Council's approval, Minister Maru announced the two special economic zones.
In terms of how many AZs we are now processing, we have two. We have the Central Limestone AZ, we also have the Puka Hill, and Cabinet has approved two more. One is the rice AZ, that's why we're here, and the other is a Central Manufacturing AZ, which will be located next to the LNG plant, and the lead investor in this project is Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited. They are the lead investor and they've already started on that SEZ.
Under the new policy, the SEZs have more majority or significant local shareholding.
One of the things the Maba government wants to do, and it's important I explain it to you, is this. While we are looking for foreign investors to come and invest in our SEZs, we want Papua New Guineans to be the major owners of these companies. So we're going to look at PNG partners like Kumul Agriculture. We want to list on the stock exchange. We want to bring other Papua New Guinea investors to come and invest in the business. So we can say it's our company. We will take ownership of these companies. It also creates an investment opportunity for our mothers and fathers in the villages. We must use the stock exchange to mobilize local capital.
The managing director for Rigo Rice, Jeffrey Kennedy, has given the pricing of Rigo rice in the country. He made a statement yesterday at the announcement of a joint venture partnership with the government and Wilma International.
Hectares of rice.
The managing director for Rigo Rice indicated that Rigo Rice is the cheapest in stores currently.
We've recently increased our price by 1 kina, so we used to be roughly 3 kina, so now we're selling at 4. We're still the cheapest.
Kennedy also stressed on the importance of the local rice company.
There is job for you. So that's in terms of employment and income opportunities. And on top of that too, PNG currently, we have a huge shortage in terms of FX. Whatever money we spend on rice import, that will be saved in country. We can use that to import medicine or even fuel, for example. So for the small people on the street, rice becomes more affordable, there'll be more jobs, and then we'll have a bit more FX on end.
He further stated that apart from providing a solution for PNG food security in terms of rice, there is also opportunity for employment creation. Louis Maingu, National EMTV News.
Now we take a look at the Nest Fund market report. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2656 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2581, 0.3868 Australian dollars, 0.2280 euro, 37.77 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed lower, copra closed lower, palm oil closed higher, crude oil is trading higher, copper closed higher. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading lower, the All Ordinaries is trading lower. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. The casket of the late Minister for Education and member for Usino-Bundi, Jimmy Uguro, left Medang this morning for his home district. His casket was formally handed over from the state to his family and to the people of Usino-Bundi.
The official convoy, including the Prime Minister James Marape, travelled by road from Medang Town to Walium this morning to officially hand over the casket of late Education Minister Jimmy Uguro to his family, his people of Usino-Bundi and Medang. The Prime Minister was at Walium Station for about 2 hours earlier before the chopper ferrying the casket arrived. People from all 3 local level government councils of Usino, Bundi and Gama painted their faces in mud and wept openly as the chopper landed at Walium Sports Stadium, a facility built by the late minister. Children from selected schools in Usino-Bundi district turned out in numbers to pay their respects and witness the handover takeover of the late minister's casket. Medang Governor Ramsey Pariwa, representing the national government, handed over the body of the late Education Minister to Usino-Bundi District Administrator Joaquim Luma. Several state ministers and Lady Rachel Marape as well arrived at Walium to witness the handing over of the late minister's casket to the people of his district. According to the program, after the handing over of his casket to his immediate family, he will be laid to rest in his home village of Bil in Usino LLG. Edson Kuso, National EMTV News.
Although correct data collection on the number of kidney failure is currently an issue, nephrologist Dr. Stephen Bogosia stated that since 2014 to date, around 2,000 patients have died in the country due to kidney failure. He said this during the commemoration of World Kidney Day today in Port Moresby.
Obesity or overweight
Expressing the increase in number of patients diagnosed with kidney failure, Dr. Bogosia revealed this.
So in total, I would have already got past 1,000 that have already, almost 2,000 have died under my care. The others who were lucky have gone abroad for transplant when they had the money. In general, the number of patients we received at POMGen, we used to get almost none at all, to now getting at least 5 out of every 10 admissions that we see. It can be 5, generally between 3 to 5 patients every night coming.
He further added,
and many of them sadly, are our own, people of working class age. Those are people who are between 30 to 50. And these are very productive people in the country that we are losing to chronic kidney disease who are having kidney failures.
With this posing a risk for the country in several aspects, Dr. Bogosia also mentioned that he is the only certified nephrologist in the country, indicating the need for manpower in the field in addition to equipment and medication for the cause.
And it's a bit scary because in the country right now, I'm the only nephrologist. And I was actually trained by PNG Kidney Foundation. They paid for my training abroad, thanks to Sir Martin Poe. Sir Martin Poe and the team, they invested a lot of money in me. It's not small money. And I had to be in a hospital abroad in Malaysia for almost 3 years, including the COVID time I was there. So it takes a lot of money, support to get manpower trained as well. So it's not.
Natasha Voy, National, MTV News.
With the Port Moresby General Hospital setting its sight to provide kidney transplant services in the country, a hold-up for this aspiration that will make PNG one of the first Pacific Island country to do so is the progress of policies to enable these services. Dr. Bogosia expressed this, emphasizing that transplant service is what PNG really needs.
Since the recent opening of the kidney centre at Port Moresby General Hospital that included the service of a dialysis machine, Dr. Bogosia revealed the number of sessions that have been undertaken.
So now we actually, as I speak, we've dialyzed up to almost 95,000. We've been in 95,000 sessions and we've managed, meaning one patient will go sit on a machine, it's a one session. It's recorded as one session by the record. And so far, we've managed almost 22 patients so far, since we started dialyzing in Feb. So up till now, we have almost 22 now who are kept alive now.
He revealed further that sessions are costly and even time-consuming, a concern considering that majority of the patients are working.
So we realized that all these patients coming in, many of them, this machine is a commitment. 1 week, 3 times, and for the rest of your life. So meaning if you're working, you literally have to leave work to go and join the, where the machine is. But how are you going to pay for the fee? If you go on for on and on and on, if the session is 200 kina per session, and you start attending and you lose your job, who's going to pay? So we started realizing that, because I've been dialyzing with Kidney Foundation since 14. So I started realizing that patients who were coming in, yes, we were connecting them, but they were losing their jobs on the other end. And then they couldn't support the fees. And then they felt embarrassed. Many just left, they never came back.
With this, he reiterated on the importance of having kidney transplant services in the country and also gave an update on efforts by the Port Moresby General Hospital to push through the law on transplant that will enable the service.
So the law is currently now in process. We've already engaged and we put aside money from the hospital to engage a private lawyer already. And the private lawyers already, I think one probably has been selected by the hospital already. I think we will know probably by next week who is being selected. Because we don't want to wait for the state. We're seeing that when you leave it to the government, it goes too slow.
Natasha Voy, National, MTV News.
The 13th Chinese medical team donated over 50 medical supplies and equipment to the Port Moresby General Hospital this week.
Minister for Health, National.
In a small but significant ceremony at the Port Moresby General Hospital, the Chinese ambassador to PNG, Zhang Fanhua, and his team of medical professionals officially handed over the medical supplies to the Minister for Health, Dr. Lino Tom, and the CEO of Port Moresby General Hospital, Dr. Paki Molumi, and other executives of the Port Moresby General Hospital. The CEO of Port Moresby General Hospital, in his remarks, acknowledged the invaluable assistance provided by the Chinese government through medical supplies and training to the Papua New Guinea Health Department.
13th medical team in the last 21 years, total number of 100 people that have specialists that have served this hospital and the people of Papua New Guinea amounts to 130. With the strong support from the health department on both sides, we are delighted to see that this project has moved positive contributions to easing the healthcare demand of Papua New Guinea.
Similarly, the Minister for Health, Dr. Lino Tom, emphasized the significance of international cooperation in addressing healthcare challenges and improving public health outcomes.
So on behalf of the government, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Chinese government for this relationship that we enjoy. Of course, we're a developing nation and there's a lot more to learn from China. And I know that with this ongoing relationship, I think we will learn a lot from each other.
The Chinese ambassador to Papua New Guinea, Zhang Fanhua, emphasized that the relationship between China and PNG have witnessed a steady and healthy development.
Since establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries in 1976, China-PNG relations have witnessed a steady and healthy development. The programmatic cooperation between the two countries in various fields has achieved remarkable results.
The donated medical supplies range from essential medical equipment to vital medications will improve the capabilities of Port Moresby General Hospital in providing quality healthcare services to patients in the country. Louis Maingu, National EMTV News.
Kunga Town Authority, in conjunction with North-Fly District Development Authority in Western Province, is tasked to monitor the movement of people in the district. This is to ensure ongoing law and order problems faced in Kunga is reduced.
Following recent public announcement made in Kunga, police in North-Fly Command, including the Kunga-based PNG Defence Force, will be working together to carry out their operation in the district, and anyone found going against the rules and laws governing the society will be dealt with accordingly. The new Kunga Town manager Vincent William made public to the residents of Kunga that this approach will continue to be observed in North-Fly. This is to ensure that people can focus on small business activities to sustain their livelihood rather than being involved in illegal activities. He said town authorities will be working closely with North-Fly DDA to carry out planned activities to ensure public safety in Kunga Town is prioritized. Residents are therefore advised to follow rules imposed by the town authorities, such as no drinking in public places, no betel nut spitting, control of rubbish, and the observance of traffic rules, among others. Tamara Agavi, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break with TRAI Sport. Stay with us.
TRAI Sports.
Welcome to TRAI Sports. The Kumul Petroleum PNG Barramundis has made a strong return to be crowned kings of the Hong Kong T20 TRAI Series after defeating Nepal by 86 runs in the final. The retaliation came from a devastating loss by 85 runs from Nepal in their last match. The loss didn't put Baramandi's side down but motivated them to correct their mistakes and pushed forward for their next game against the host Hong Kong, China. Taking on the hosts determined Baramandi's side put on a superb match, defeating them by 10 wickets that secured a spot for the finals against Nepal to be crowned champions. Tony Ura, the dynamic right-handed opening batsman for the Baramandi cricket team, showcased exceptional skills in their recent match against Nepal, earning him both the Player of the Tournament and Player of the Match awards.
Jar again, eased this one, down deep third on the ropes, will pick it up.
Taking charge at the crease, Ura unleashed his powerful shots, smashing 5 boundaries 4s and 4 maximums 6s to amass a total of 61 runs off just 37 deliveries, leaving the Nepalese bowlers struggling to contain him.
Crunched onto the offside, I think that's going to the ropes. Yes, it is, 4 more.
When asked about his outstanding performance, Ura humbly attributed to the collective effort of the team.
It's not about me, it's all about the teamwork. You know, when wicket was falling out, I just calmly just stay there when the next batsman was coming in, just to keep rotating. If in my area, just get a big one and just keep running.
Emphasizing the importance of teamwork in achieving success on the field. As the Baramandi team gears up for their upcoming World Cup preparation tour in Malaysia, Ura's stellar performance has undoubtedly boosted their confidence, setting the stage for an exciting and competitive journey ahead. James Guken, TRAI Sports.
TRAI Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
TRAI Sports.
Welcome back to TRAI Sports. In an exciting development for young sports enthusiasts, the Smart Start New Kick AFL is set to kick off its kids program this Saturday, the 16th of March, at the Eriku AFL Oval in Lae. Children aged between 5 to 15 years old will have the opportunity to participate in the PNG AFL program, which aims to introduce them to the fundamentals of Australian football rules in a fun and engaging manner. 17 boxing clubs in the National Capital District, including one in Porabada, are gearing up for an upcoming tournament next month.
Director of Port Moresby Amateur Boxing, Junior Kaukoraka, announced that the scheduled amateur boxing tournament for this month has been postponed due to difficulties in securing a suitable venue. The event has been rescheduled for the following month. Raka emphasized that all participating clubs will register under their governing body, the PNG Boxing Union, following advice from the president. Additionally, towards the end of this month, the Oceania Fight Promotions will host a professional boxing competition. Notably, some professional boxers from NCD will be taking part in this anticipated event. James Guken, TRAI Sports.
And that ends TRAI Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
TRAI Sports. TRAI Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
The weather forecast for the next 24 hours in the southern region, Port Moresby City, some showers. Popondetta, partly cloudy with few showers. In the Momasa region, Lake City, partly cloudy with few showers. Vanimo, few showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, partly cloudy, mostly fine. Puka, some showers. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, rain showers and possible thunderstorms.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Thursday, the 14th of March, 2024. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.